Hi friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn a basic topic of big O, big omega and big theta notation. So let me explain those three terms in a simple way. So if any questions are asked in these topics, right, you just have to write some simple steps, right, and you will get the minimum scores in that question. So what is meant by big O notation? If there are given two functions f of n and g of n, such that we say that f of n is big O of g of n when if there are positive constants c and n naught, such that what is the function f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n for n greater than or equal to n naught. So for big O notation you have to remember this, and there is a graph which like this you can take this, right. So c into g of n will go like this. So I am just explaining it for normally. Just if the questions occurs from the topic big O, like notations, asymptotic notations, right, like notations big O, big omega and big theta, you can just have to know the minimum knowledge to answer this in the exam. So like this it will graph come. So f of n is less than or equal to g of n, and for big omega f of n and g of n, see if there are two given functions f of n, g of n, f of n is omega of g of n when if there is a constant c greater than 0 and n naught greater than or equal to 1, such that f of n greater than or equal to c into g of n for n greater than or equal to n naught. Also, so what is the main thing is f of n is in big omega f of n is greater than or equal to c into g of n, and in big O f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n. So if you ask me about this graph, it will like f of n will go up and the c into g of n will be placed in the below. So what is meant by big theta? See, similarly if f of n and g of n two functions, such that f of n is big theta of g of n when if there are constants c dash greater than 0 and c double dash greater than 0 and an integer n naught greater than or equal to 1, such that c dash into g of n is less than or equal to f of n less than or equal to c double dash into g of n. So if you ask me about this graph, right, so this graph will be like this. So there are two conditions that will come from this, and this f of n will be in the middle. See, if you can see c dash, this one is c double dash into g of n, and it is c dash into g of n, and middle one will be f of n. So these three main things you have to know. So if there are any questions, if you noticed anything in big O, big omega or big theta, right, you just have to answer this. So thank you guys for watching my video.